you are just joining us, we are on to your favorite program, Democracy and the Rule of Law. It has been a heated one on the studio this afternoon. We'll go over to the next topic. The recent killing of about 17 soldiers of the Nigerian army in Okuama community in Delta. About 13 and 7 officers were gruesomely murdered in Okuama community. Of course, it was cited that they went for a peacekeeping mission and they were ambushed, and the majority of them were killed. About 7 people have been declared wanted by the military. Among them is one of the kings there, and so many other persons have been declared wanted in connection of that killing. So, Barisobi, I want to get your opinion on all of those scenarios, because the military is an important cog in our security architecture, and as such, their protection and their welfare, their security should be of paramount importance. Because when you look at the Western military establishment, they do not always take it for granted in losing even one of their military personnel. Apart from the fact that a lot of money are spent in equipping and training them, it also sends a wrong signal, to the people out there, that those who are supposed to be protecting the people, protecting the sovereign integrity of the nation, are being haunted or can be easily haunted, by people. So it sends a wrong signal out there. So it's a very, very serious thing, I'm sure. And the government is taking the whole issue very, very seriously and promised to bring those who perpetrated this crime, to book. So what is your opinion on all of this?
Personally, I see what happened in Okuama community is a very sad incident. Very sad because lives were lost. The life of the soldiers that have gone and left behind widows and orphans. It is very sad. Now, what I think is that the government must wake up and ensure that there is discreet investigation into the remote causes of what happened there. I'm aware that the traditional ruler and some people have been fingered and declared wanted for the murder of these soldiers. The law is against murder. There's nothing that justifies killing another person, except, of course, in self-defense. But in this scenario, what happened in that community is so sad. We are told that they went on a peacekeeping mission. They were ambushed and slaughtered, decapitated, and some organs missing and so on. That's a sad story, sad commentary. Now, the other side of it is that some of the people from that community are claiming that the soldiers were one-sided. That two communities were having a land dispute or something, and that they came to aid one side against the other. If that is so, there's need for faith. And that's why I said that government needs to get this matter properly investigated so that Nigerians will know the truth of what transpired. Was it that they went to aid one side so that that side will have edge over the other side? Is that the position? Or was it that they went on a peacekeeping mission, and the peacekeeping mission were both communities aware of it, and the people from the other community that claim that that soldiers killed about 4 of their men and that they retaliated? These are things that need to be properly investigated and the truth, distilled out. Did the soldiers kill any person or group of persons from the other community? And then, when did it become the duty of the soldiers to be involved in land dispute, if that is really what was the crux of the matter.
Okay.
Before the incident, there were no issues or outcry that the communities were killing themselves. If there were such things, of course, if they are drafting people, police must be there. So that the military went there, and one side, they killed some people on one side. So we really want the government to get this matter properly investigated for two reasons. Like you mentioned, the life of a soldier, just like the life of every Nigerian, is important to Nigerians, whether you're a soldier, whoever you may be. And that is why most of UPWIP, that virtually no day goes without us hearing news of people dying. They've killed so many people, they've kidnapped so many people, and so on. It's bad. And then for 17 soldiers and even senior military officers to have been wasted, it's bad. And must not be allowed to be swept up in the carpet. Again, we know the tradition that in most cases, when soldiers are killed, they usually go for revenge. But thank God for the intervention of the head of state and president of this country, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has been able to calm the military down. We hope that they will be restrained from avenging the death of the 17 soldiers. And of course, that the government should live up to its promises concerning the people, the soldiers left behind. Because government said the children will be trained, given free education up to university level. We hope the government will live up to that promise.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister Okuama. So, Dr. Yemi, on the same issue, how should the government be responding to this this issue? How, if you had to advise the government, how should they? Because of course, even the published lists of suspected people who were done by the military, should they be the one investigating this thing, or should the police be investigating the issue? Because we ask the question of the culture of the military interfacing directly with civilians, because that seems to be, and now we are hearing that they went on a peacekeeping mission, in furtherance to what they do through the INEC. We have asked the question, is it a question of lack of awareness of duty? Is it a question of the law? A question of the fact that they are less busy, they need to interfere or help the police in doing some of the functions that have been constitutionally allotted to the police to do? So what has been, because there is this culture of the military always coming out. In fact, as a lawyer, we see some even private individuals sometimes involving the military to come and collect money that somebody is owing them and recover and all of that. And most times they oblige. So is it a black culture? Is it a cultural something or lack of awareness of their duty?
Well, I can say it's the military that carries out such. There's greediness and a lack of knowledge of the law. Now, be that as it may, what happened in Delta State? I think Okuama or something. It's an unfortunate situation, and I sympathize with the government and the people of Delta State. The investigation to be carried out, it's not an investigation that will be carried out by a single law enforcement agency. It has to be joint, whether Navy, Air Force, Civil Defense, military, soldier, police, DSS, because some persons were suspected to have carried out the act. And some of those persons may sneak out of the country. That will bring about Interpol, International Police Unit, and some other agencies like that will assist in order to take down the perpetrators of that evil deeds. Now, then on the issue of a government's responsibility to the incident, the government has made some promises openly. I enjoin the government to keep to it, so that the families left behind will not regret the action of their member of their family joining the Nigerian army, because somebody just gave back, and last one of them just wed, they were about to wed.
Was about to wed.
About to wed. And one, I think, had aged mother and father, and the rest like that. So it's an unfortunate situation. Let me tell you, that can destroy some person who want to go in the Nigerian army. And that's how they kill them. If I go there, they will also kill. So, but if the government keeps to the promises made, it will still act as a succor to the families. Then aside from that, you see, there's what we need to do in this country. We need to enlighten ourselves about certain things. Now, the fact that some persons were killed because of grievances or one or two problems they have may not solve the problem they have. It may not solve it. They may compound it. But I thank the government of the day to have ensured that the military did not go into action when this incident happened. If it were in those days, I think we've had similar experience then. I think they call it ODS.
Yes, where the
we had similar experience there that it turned to bloodbath. So all those things.
Even in Zach ABM,
very terrible situation. So
yes.
This one has not led to that situation, and I think the government should maintain such lines so that we can have peace, because peace is better than violence. Now, then looking at it from one angle, that persons were suspected, it is normal. You can suspect anybody. Whoever is suspected, if he knows is not involved, you can make yourself available. If they investigate you, they let you go.
Right.
Yes, that is good, because anybody could be suspected of any crime. But the fact remains that, you see, the people from that community in question, they need to be extremely careful. You see, you don't fight government and think government will keep quiet perpetually. But thank God for the present administration that this administration is not interested in such violence. I think so.
Of course, the major is
from the comment I had from the present administration, I think our democracy is developing one way or the other.
Yeah, shouldn't the government be interested in protecting the life of the people?
Compared to what happened during ODR, that's what I mean. I don't want to go too much detail. I listened to a particular clip of what happened in ODR some days ago, and I shook my head. When I listened to that, I said, can this one happen in this country?
It did. It happened. Yeah, it happened.
But we don't pray for such.
Yeah, but because we're almost out of time.
Yes.
Yes. So we are still hammering on this, because are there some lessons that needs to be learned as to the role of the military? Because it seems that there is a lack of awareness or understanding of the military role, which have led to some of these issues that we are having now and we have had in the past, by military overlapping their function. Yes. Is it a question of training or is it a question of lack of awareness? Because the government needs to be aware. We are talking about preventive measures. Yeah. Yes, where the government, where who are not directly intervening. Because from my little knowledge, the military ought not to be seen every day, regularly by the citizens.
Yes.
There are other people who should be doing
it. Yes, the fact remains that the military is not supposed to be involved in issues that border on land dispute or interfere with civilians on a regular basis. That's not what it does. And some of them are aware of it. And that's why some of them try to stay clear of anything that will involve them doing things that are outside the clear confines.
All of them not supposed to be aware?
Maybe some, maybe few of them are ignorant, or I don't know. But one thing is very clear, that by their training, they are told, they are trained to defend this nation. And of course, some Nigerians are equally to be blamed, because they want to go and call the military. They have some military friends and contact, they call them, come and so on. Because you see, some of the allegations that were made, somebody alleged that some money was given to facilitate the military coming and so on and so forth. That's why there's need for investigation. So I don't agree entirely with my colleague that it should involve the Air Force, the Navy.
I know, police. I said it's going to be a joint investigation. I didn't say it should involve
you mentioned those agencies.
I said if one of them now flew out of this country, now how do you track such a person down?
No.
We have to involve TAPO. Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't say.
Okay.
I didn't
another
say clearly.
thing that I know needs to be done, which is a failure on the part of governors in the various states, 30 states of the federation, is that governors are not doing enough when it comes to land disputes. There are several communities in this country that there have been a lot of bloodshed because of land disputes, and there are state boundary adjustment committees that are supposed to wade into this and adjust the boundaries for these communities to avoid further bloodshed. Assuming the governor of Delta State, the president who also had addressed that issue and addressed the matter once and for all, this wouldn't occur. But because those issues, so it goes across the entire spectrum of this nation. There are so many states in Nigeria where there are communities that have been landed in Enugu State, in so many states in this country, there are such issues. And these things, I think that at the state level, the governors should handle, but they don't do so. And this leads to unnecessary bloodshed.
All right. Thank you very much. We are almost.
Yes, we are. I want us to know that there is a synergy.
Let's get your summary of this issue.
You see, there is a synergy amongst the law enforcement agencies. Now, when one has problem, contact the other, they synergize in order to get the solution, the problem resolved.
Yes.
Now, despite that, I think the law enforcement agencies should be properly guided when it comes to the operation of the law, by giving them training and retraining, even organizing seminar conferences for them that has to do with law. Yes. Wherein some of them who are not exposed to it, we have faint knowledge of it, that will guide them in terms of the operation. I think that will go a long way to
I hope the synergy you are talking about is not the one that gave the military the power to go and arrest Mr.
No, that is not the synergy I am talking of. Is that during election now, what is the population of the Nigerian police to cover all the roads and the polling units? That is where synergy comes. And then, okay, for instance, where there is a communal crisis somewhere else, where persons are being killed or kidnapper in operation, blah blah blah. So the synergy comes in that way. There are laws, there are cases guiding those things, but this is not the best way for us to be.
All right, thank you very much.
My recommendation is that let the incidents not to Segu or Latunji's abduction or arrest, and it will be the last by the military, because it is.
They have to be deterrent to that effect.